So in this video, I want to do a favor for you. So often I get new students in the atelier, and they come with their big bouquet of sharpened pencils, 2B, 8B, 1B, F, 6B, 6H, and it goes on and on and on. They say, which one? When do I use this one? When do I use that one? And I want to do you a favor. Can I ask you to just use one pencil? HB is fine. You can do the full range from white to black. What else is there? What you're looking for is a match between your pencil and the paper. It's the paper really that expresses itself. If you practice with different papers, you'll see some papers have high contrast in their expression, even though you're using one pencil. It's hard to get those middle tones. Some papers will give you middle tones, and you have a real struggle getting the contrast in there without damaging the paper. Make sure it's a drawing quality paper, a real good drawing quality paper. It'll give you the opportunity to learn how to express what you want to say the best way possible. So those are a few tips, but can I ask you one favor? Let's try one pencil. The range from 2H to 2B is probably the biggest range you ever want to have. But take an HB pencil. You know those good old yellow pencils you had at school with a red eraser on the top that sometimes got chewed off or whatever? That's fine. That's fine. Try it. Try a 2B pencil and get used to working with that. The fact is, every time you change your pencil midway through a drawing, it's like when you're driving your car and you readjust the distance of the seat from the pedals, it feels like a different vehicle. There's always that risk that if you're not aware of the pencil you have in your hand, you could impose a hard pencil on your paper and damage it. Or you can be trying to do subtle values with a soft pencil like a 6B, and it comes out clumpy and greasy, and it's just not useful. And again, you're trying to undo the damage to your drawing that you did, which was progressing so nicely, and now you got to undo something that looks ugly. What am I trying to tell you is learn to explore or squeeze as much out of one simple tool that you can and learn it. So if it's a charcoal, if it's a graphite stick, if it's a pencil you're working with, that's fine. If you're working with ink, but try to squeeze as much as you can out of one tool. Why is that? Why am I trying to emphasize that? Because there's a powerful learning experience there. You learn to adapt according to the tools you have. Just remember the old masters, they had to dig in the garden to find something that could be used as a drawing tool. Art supplies were made in the kitchen back then. They were not made at the store. They were made in the kitchen. You found a quill from a crow or a goose, and you hardened that quill and you made ink out of an iron gall ink or a bistre ink or a drying ink or something like that in the kitchen, and that's what you used. When you look at the red chalk drawings of Michelangelo and so on, it's brilliant, but you can see the value of immersing yourself into a simple tool. Now, when we look at other disciplines, they also emphasize the same thing. Look at a violin. A violin is not a complex instrument, but the powerful experience, we can say, of learning the violin is incomparable. It's just 4 strings stretched on a piece of hollow wood. 4 simple strings. And a stick with horsehair on it, a bow. But put it in the hands of the right person who has learned to dive into the experience, the rich experience, the powerful experience of learning the violin, and you've got something that can't be touched. It's an amazing experience. Photographers, I love photography. I love following examples of landscape photography because I learned so much about composition and utilizing the environment around that you can't control and turning it into a composition that's iconic or absolutely interesting to look at. That's where the skill of observation comes in. But the photography tutorials, we can say, or teachers that I've had a chance to be exposed to have all mentioned dump the zoom lens, those fancy tools, and just get a prime lens and learn that lens. Learn it. Learn it thoroughly, because there's a powerful learning experience associated with a simple tool. So look at my drawer here. I've got 2 mil pencil, 0.7 mechanicals. I've got Blackwing pencils, and so on and so forth. But seldom do I venture off into other tools. I just use one, maybe two, to finish a drawing, and that's all. So I might go from a 2 mil to a 0.7. It's mechanical, it doesn't really matter. Or I might use just a traditional pencil, right? Blackwing does a beautiful job for graphite. Or in this case, I might use a piece of pure silver and do a silver point. It's all line work. There's no blending or anything going on. It's just pure line work on a prepared sheet of paper. Use a simple tool and blossom. See how much you can squeeze out of one tool, and see how you can express what you want to say in dynamic value, in expression of gesture, in the beauty of truth. All these types of things can be done with one simple tool. We don't have to get a palette of 148 colors. We can enjoy that. And when we get that groundwork established, if you carry that into the next level of color theory and paint, you've built a foundation that's strong, that goes forward into your other work. That's what the great masters did. They drew with one simple tool, and they did a magnificent job. I always look back at Michelangelo's Libyan Sibyl, or Raphael's drawings that he did. Beautiful example. Peter Paul Rubens. Do I have to mention all those names again? Not really. But they're iconic examples of how to use a simple tool. Take one simple tool, squeeze as much as you can out of it, and you'll be surprised how much you can say. Please click on the subscribe button for me. I love doing these little videos. This is a new experience, but I love it. And a few videos ago, I forgot to turn my microphone on. You might have noticed that. Oh, well, we're learning. And if you like to click the like, it always helps. And if you look at the link below, it takes you to the Atelier website, so you can see what's going on and what's new. You can even post a little message and say, hey, it's me from who knows where, and I just want to say hi. Always love to hear from people. And every once in a while, we do a nice demo on Zoom where we broadcast an invitation to anybody who wants to just try this out. And it makes it a fun experience. At least we get to meet one another. So thank you very much for enjoying this video.